Planet Dolan. From never-ending showers to being a super spy, the Dolan Crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the dumbest excuses we've ever heard. I'm Zaragamba, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Carmen0619. Emoji was on Facebook one day and saw a woman wanting to divorce her husband. Her husband had been cheating on her, which she knew because she caught him in the act of sleeping with another woman on the bedroom floor. The husband's excuse was that he wasn't sleeping with her and that he did not know who she was. He got out of the shower, bumped into her, tripped, and fell on top of her. The divorce was finalized in a matter of minutes. Number 9 was submitted by Marvin Martian 1. When Froggy was 18, her boyfriend would stand her up on almost everything. The excuse was almost always a made-up illness. It was so obvious it got a little pathetic after a while. Nobody could be ill that often. One day he was supposed to meet Froggy and his excuse for cancelling was, "I fell over and hurt my knee." They broke up not long after that and Froggy never looked back. Number 8 was submitted by PlayNice9001. One of Ursa's college friends was notorious for flaking out on events at the last second. She cancelled parties and group hangouts an hour before they were scheduled, even though they were planned days or even weeks in advance. Usually the reasons for cancelling were things like excessive homework or just being tired. But the worst excuse she gave was that she decided she'd rather play Overwatch. She didn't even try to dress it up or anything. She cancelled the Halloween party they'd been planning for days at literally the last second. She ruined everybody's Halloween's plans, all just so she could play Overwatch. Ursa and her friends don't hang out with her very much anymore. Number 7 was submitted by PartyCreeper1098. The dumbest excuse James Shark had ever heard is when he was about to go to a friend's house for a sleepover. They said James Shark couldn't come over yet because they were taking a shower and that he could come later. James Shark waited a few hours later and called again. They said they were still in the shower. At that point, he knew he was being blown off and just stopped calling because his friend obviously didn't want him to come over. The next day, the friend's mother told James Shark that his friend actually was really busy and didn't want to tell him he couldn't come. So instead, he came up with the old infinite shower excuse. Number 6 was submitted by AppleGirl7. The dumbest excuse Snoopy ever heard was when she was 13. Her brother stole $5 from her and lied about it. His alibi was that he couldn't have stolen the money because he was painting a picture. He even gave Snoopy the picture to prove it. Aside from the obvious ones, there were a couple of huge problems with this excuse. The first was that Snoopy's brother was allergic to an ingredient in paint. The second problem? The picture he had submitted as proof that he was painting was just a computer-printed copy of the Mona Lisa. Number 5 was submitted by Nuclear Nerd 666. The dumbest excuse Dolan ever heard was in his final year of college. He was walking to his room when he ran into a guy who had borrowed one of his books but never returned it. Dolan called up to him and asked for his book back. He said that he had to go have sex with his pet turtle. Later, Dolan found out from his friend, who was the guy's roommate, that the book thief had eaten the book. Like, eaten it. He tore out 805 pages and ate them. Moral of the story, don't let people borrow your stuff. Number 4 was submitted by MysticTulip. The dumbest excuse Andy ever heard was from a co-worker at her job. Andy was enjoying a hard-earned 2-week vacation, but only after a few days, she was called back into work because one of the employees called in sick. Now, being sick isn't really a bad excuse, but what she actually said was, "I'm feeling sick, I won't be back till Tuesday." That call came in on Thursday. For some reason, this woman was too sick to come to work, but somehow knew the exact day she'd be able to come back. And that day was 5 days later, after the weekend. Sure, there was a chance she really was sick, but it seemed awfully suspicious. It turned out Andy was right. Her co-worker had taken a trip to a nearby city for an entire 4-day weekend just so she could go shopping. Number 3 was submitted by DopieXD. When Hellbent was in middle school, he had a girlfriend for more than a year and a half, and he thought everything was going great. But after all that time, his girlfriend suddenly said she wanted to break up. When Hellbent asked her why, She said that she was an international super spy and her organization had told her to choose between her boyfriend or her job. It's probably worth noting that Kim Possible was a really popular show at the time. The very next week, she was dating some jock. So much for her spy work. Number 2 was submitted by Cookie Monster 106. When Robo was in 6th grade, her class went on an outdoor field trip. When they were playing the last game of the day, one girl said, "I did the splits in the lake." It obviously looked like she'd peed her pants, and everyone knew it. But first of all, why would she do splits in the lake? That made no sense. And more importantly, there was no lake anywhere for miles around. After that field trip, the same girl peed her pants at least 8 more times before the end of the school year, and didn't go on any more outdoor field trips. It probably wasn't the splits in the lake those other 8 times either. Number 1 was submitted by me and is the dumbest excuse that I have ever heard. I was writing a term paper once about the effects of carbon dioxide emissions on the atmosphere. It was a big project, it went for the whole semester and it was like a whole subject's worth of work. We got to the very last week and we were editing, and I noticed there was a line in the report that said that carbon dioxide emissions were dangerous because they were depleting the ozone layer. Now, if you've never done a class about environmental science or anything like that, you might be forgiven for thinking that's true. But at the end of a whole project about this topic, you would expect that a person would know that that's not the case. I got pretty upset because I'd worked very hard on the report, and the person that had written that just explained it by saying they were just trying to fill up words in the report. And you know what? That's fine. As long as those words are worth something. And you know, true. I swear I could have jumped the table at him. If you're listening, not cool, man. Not cool. A huge thanks to the folks over in our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the dumbest thing your boss ever told you to do? Let us know in the Reddit page link below and you might be featured in a future countdown.
This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys.
Well, that's it for this countdown, but catch you guys next time.